Yes, sir. You already know we in this thing. What is going on? I am your host, Zach Valentine. You are now tuned in to another episode of Wake.Bake.Motivate. We on episode 2, bro. It's just something we got going, man. It's just something I'm kicking off. It's just something for me to get in here and hopefully inspire somebody. Hopefully give somebody the motivation they need to push on, bro. I remember being in places. I remember times in my life where I looked around and I was looking for motivation, or I was looking for inspiration, or I was just looking for somebody to help. And I didn't have that shit, bro. I was at a place in my life where everything around me just made me feel like an outsider. Like nobody was really genuinely there for me. Nobody gave a fuck about my best interests. But there was times in my life where I was that dude that slept on people's couches. I was that homeboy that just tagged along. I was that dude that just didn't have shit going on in life. I thought I did. I thought I was cool as fuck. I thought I had my, shit. But in actuality, I've been to that place. I've been sleeping on my homeboy's couch before. I've had to ask people, for a couple dollars to eat. So just don't think you're the only one that's going through shit, bro. That's my biggest thing, man. Everybody goes through shit, man, and everybody deals with it a different type of way. Some people, it's overbearing, it's overpowering. They can't do it. It's tough, man. But just know that I'm the motivation, right? Like if I can do it, if I can pull myself out of the fucking slums, out of the bullshit, out of the drugs, out of the street life, just all of the above. If I can pull myself out of that shit and make a way for myself, then I don't see why anybody on the face of this earth should have a fucking problem doing it. Because I'm telling you right now, I was a horrible person, man. I was robbing, I was stealing, I was selling dope. One thing I never really truly did was I never really got bad on drugs. I would pop pills and I would drink and I would do this and that, but I never accepted or liked the feeling of being on drugs, right? So I never really did no hard drugs like that. But I've been around people that's lost their life. I've been around people that can't change their life. I've been around people that had it all and fucked around and let the drugs take them down, and now they don't have shit. I've watched people lose their kids. I've watched people catch charges. I was just in a culture in a culture of people, man, that's all everybody wanted to do. We wanted to party. We wanted to get fucked up. And it was at a point in my life when I realized that it wasn't it was like, so I really had an awakening and seen it for what it was. Like it got to a point where my friends and the people around me weren't getting fucked up to party anymore. It's almost like they were getting fucked up to escape reality, right? And that's when I started noticing a problem in our circle. That's when I started noticing the way people were changing. That's when I noticed that people really had addiction. And it was hard, bro. Growing up 16, 17, watching people that you know close to you, friends and shit, dying, overdosing on pills in a small city where it just wasn't the norm. It wasn't something that people were used to. It shook the whole city up. I lost a lot of friends, and it was just like, it was that turning point when I started to realize that, okay, this isn't about partying no more. This isn't about having fun. Like, this is real life shit. People are trying to escape emotions and they're trying to battle with demons, and it's really fucking crazy. And I tried everything I could to stay around and help and try to lead people and try to show them, hey, this ain't the way. This ain't what we supposed to be doing. And then it was almost like I couldn't escape the shit. No matter who the fuck I was around, where the fuck I went, whether it was family, whether it was a friend, whether if it was some new people I met, it was just like everybody was fucking with this shit. So here I am trying to fit in, right? Moving along, trying to hang out with people, trying to do this. You dibbling and dabbling in this. You thinking that's acceptable. You think that's cool. All in all, I'm just digging this deeper and deeper hole in my life to where it's like it's setting me back further and further and further to where I was so worried about being cool and being accepted and being part of the crew. It got to the point where I would pretty much, whatever the fuck was on the venue, whatever the fuck was on the menu, like it didn't matter. Wherever the fuck we was going, whatever the fuck we was doing, I was doing that shit, right? And I started to realize that none of these situations or none of these people or none of these fucking, none of it had to ask, like, there was no motivation to it. There was nobody had no goals. And I seen that as a big problem. But like I said, I couldn't escape the shit because it was everywhere. Everywhere I looked, no matter where the fuck I went in my city, somebody was doing some type of drug, some type of dope. They was getting high. They was getting drunk. And then it's almost, I look at it like God put me in prison to get me away from it, right? Like he gave me a chance to get the fuck away from it and change my life. And from that day forward, since I came home, man, I've been, a lot of people want to say I changed. A lot of people want to say I'm an asshole and I forgot where I came from and I don't fuck with nobody. And you fucking right, bro. I can't fuck with nobody, man. I can't go back to that shit that put me in a position to where I didn't have shit, to where I was sleeping on people's fucking couches, where I didn't have a dime, I didn't have a job, I didn't have a car, I didn't have nothing, dude. And it's like, none of y'all gave a fuck. Nobody was like, bro, you need to get your shit together. Nobody, they was like, hey, man, you know where you can get some this or you can get some that. And it was just like this vicious fucking cycle, bro. And I knew that there was more to life than that shit. So instead of me bitching about it or complaining about it or going back to the same bullshit, I simply removed myself from the entire fucking situation, right? I cut ties with everybody. I quit talking to people I've known my entire life. I don't answer the phone. I don't do none of that shit, merely on the fact of I'm trying to get my shit together. And if they take it the wrong way, they take it the wrong way. But here I am 10 years after I got out of prison, and my life's completely different. I don't hang around them type of people. The people in my circle are fucking entrepreneurs. They're my mentors. They're fucking worth billions and millions of dollars. They're motivated. They're fucking doing this. They're doing that. They're doing so much positive shit that I just can't see myself fucking with that type of energy anymore, right? But does that make me a bad person for not trying to lend my hand or reach back or pull some people out or do this or do that? That's what people fail to realize is I've tried. I've told people my visions. I've told people my moves. I've tried to include people in my shit. And nobody's seen it for what I seen it for. And it's them type of times in your life where you have to make decisions. Like I said, man, it was relationships that I've had since I was fucking 11, 12, 10, 15-year relationships with people, friendships, fucking, and I just left it all behind. Not because I don't give a fuck about you or none of that shit, but how can I care about you if I don't care about myself? How the fuck can I help you if I can't help myself, right? And that was the biggest lesson to me, was walking away and watching how many people became selfish in the situation. Like, They didn't look at it like, oh, he's trying to get his shit right. He's trying to get his life together. He's trying to fix this. They didn't look at it like that. They looked at it as a, man, you ain't fucking with me, or you ain't rocking with me, or what, you ain't my homeboy no more. It was always about their emotions, their feelings, the way they looked at the situation. It was never about them removing them and being like, yeah, they say if you really love somebody, you'll let them go to make them a better person, right? So sometimes, man, you just got to be that person, man. And it was like, it was heartbreaking to legit watch the reaction of people that I fuck with my entire life when I told them I'm trying to change or do better or do this. it was heartbreaking that they took it personally. Like they instantly were like, "Oh, bro, it's something I did. It's something you know what you know." Whoop whoop whoop. And then I hear the stories, I hear the gossip. But I'm here to tell you, man, you the only person that can make that choice. You the only person that can change that. um, and it's hard, bro. It's hard walking away from some shit when there's emotion involved, right? But like I'm saying, it ain't. It's got to be about you first. There's some people I wish I could still reach back out to and be able to kick it with. But then I tap in and I see their social media or I see their timeline or I hear stories and people are still on the same shit. Nobody's got nothing going on. Nobody motivated to get a bag. And I just can't be around it. So it's like, I'll take the burden of being an asshole or I'll take the burden of being a fucking forget where I come from, whatever the fuck they label it as. I'll take that if that's what it takes for me to better myself. Right? And that's why I try to explain to people. That's why I want to be that knight in shining armor to where it's like you can do this shit too, bro. You don't have to keep yourself in them vicious, toxic fucking circles. Even though them your homeboys, even though that's your cousin, even though that's your best friend, whatever the fucking case may be, bro, if they don't have shit going for you, if they ain't looking out for your best interests, if they ain't trying to correct you when you out of pocket, all of the above, man, you got to remove yourself from that type of shit. And not, you gotta be firm. You gotta be an asshole about it. There's no other way to fucking deal with it, right? Like you just have to because you're the only one that can make that choice, man. And for me, it was, and for me, man, it was really like a life-changing choice. Like I said, staying in that same little circle, doing the same shit. I was sleeping on people's couches. I was begging for rides. Shit, I was doing whatever the fuck I could to get some money. And it was just, I seen more to life, man. And I knew nobody around me was going to fucking fix it but me. So sometimes in life, man, friendships, people in your life, they're lessons. They're seasonal. It's very seldom do you see people that's been friends since childhood that are still friends. You know, it happens. But a lot of times, I personally feel like we're putting them situations to learn from it to where when we come across those situations again, we know how to deal with it, right? It gives us knowledge. It gives us wisdom. And it's probably the best thing that I ever did was become a loner and stop fucking with people. And at first, like I said, man, it was hard. I would catch myself going back. I would catch myself calling people. I would catch myself trying to just still kind of be tiptoeing in the mix, right? But I understood that those type of shit, like, that was the shit that was blocking me from getting further ahead. Like, I realized I would have so much shit going on, so much good stuff, and then I do some shit like go kick it back where I don't need to be. And then all the shit that I had in the works doesn't fall through. It something bad happens, it doesn't work. And it was like, okay, that's the universe. That's God trying to tell me that this shit ain't what it's supposed to be. You ain't got your pieces in a row in order for you to see the picture. So anybody that's fighting that situation, anybody that's dealing with drugs, man, I'm telling you, bro, the best thing to do is just become a loner. Focus on yourself. For me, the gym was a big thing that helped me fight that anxiety, helped me fight that feeling, and just overall get my mental right. So I don't ever want people to think I'm perfect because I'm far from perfect, bro. But I carry myself in a fashion to where people will respect me, right? You only get one impression. If I just go around being an asshole, as douchebag, as fucking just a bad person, people aren't going to like me. People ain't going to want to fuck with me, right? So That was the point of reinventing myself. That was the point of getting out of that fucking dark, toxic circle, that fucking part of life that just wasn't for me. That was the whole reason. But now that I'm a changed person, I have to carry myself that way. And I feel like a lot of times people think, and they look at me and they're like, oh, he just thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's perfect. He thinks he's better than everybody. I mean, at the end of the day, in a sense, I don't judge nobody and I don't think I'm better than nobody, but I do carry myself to a level of confidence to where I feel like I am the shit, right? You have to. Like, you got to have some type of fucking confidence. Nowhere in the fucking Bible is it like, oh, you got to be a weak-minded person and not stand up for yourself or be confident in your ways. Like, it don't tell you to be a coward. So you got to be confident. You got to be strong. You got to believe in something or you're going to fall for anything. And it was those type of things that made me realize the people in my life that are around me right now mean me no good. So I had to think about it. You know, it was, like I said, it was a life-changing fucking, it was life-changing. It was stay doing this same shit, don't have nothing going on, or fucking get your shit right, right? There's no other options. Now people see me and they're like, damn, bro, I see you got all this shit going on. You doing this, you doing that, you doing that. And it's almost, if you really look at it, it's, you know, idle mind is the devil's workshop. So if you look at the situation, it's really just me staying busy so I don't go back to doing fuck shit. And that is the factor that makes me be successful the way I am. That makes me work as hard as I work. That makes me look at situations the way I look at them, because that's what I'm going up against. It's either do what I'm supposed to do, be productive and grow, or stay idle and go back to some shit that I despise. So living that lifestyle, being in that situation again, is something that I fucking dread. It's something I never want to go back to living like that. So therefore, that's what makes me go so fucking hard, bro. And it's that simple, man. So I just want you to know, man, this episode, bro, is really about finding yourself, understanding it's on you. Hell, if you're in a deep spot, you're in a dark spot, you're dealing with drugs, just fucking hit me up, man. It just takes a strong mind, man. A lot of people want to play weak and play victim and, it's me. No, fuck all that shit. You got to man up, bro. You got to go hard for what you want, and you got to realize that you're the only person that can really change that shit. So once again, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm Zach Valentine. This is Wake.Bake.Motivate. This is episode 2, and we're going to catch y'all on the flip side, man. Make sure y'all check us out on Apple, Google, Spotify, all of the above. YouTube, man. We appreciate it. If you fucking liked it, if you loved it, if you're rocking with the show, man, just share it. Tell somebody about me. All I'm trying to do is change somebody's life, man. So y'all stay tuned. Check us out. We'll be back. Wake, Bake, Motivate, episode 2. Zach Valentine.